Hi there, and welcome to your Business Builder System and a quick bit of thinking around profit, and specifically underneath that, a subset of marketing and branding. Now, this comes from some work I've been doing recently with a couple of very different clients. One is just about to launch a brand new business. The other one has had business interests in the city for over 150 years and have been running the retail store selling this particular set of products for 50 odd years. So two very different businesses, but the underlying principles are the same. Now, the question was from the new business, what do I call my business? And the work we were doing on the established business was essentially a repaint of the front of the shop and what to put above the door. Principles are exactly the same. Now, I like to refer to this as the Ronseal approach. And this comes from back in 1994 when Ronseal approached HHSL, a London-based ad agency, with a view to doing some TV adverts. And they wanted a slogan that would convey what they do. They wanted it to, the branding, the product names to convey what they do and to kind of make a promise about what they do. And they came up with the now famous slogan of, "It does what it says on the tin." And Ronseal called its quick drying wood stain, quick drying wood stain. And I love it. I've followed this with my own business. The Business Builder System. What is it? It's a system that builds business. I have a quarterly planning day. What is it? It's a day where we do business planning, and it happens every quarter. Quarterly business planning day. It does what it says on the tin. And with the new online children's clothing retailer, it was like, okay, let's sit in your target market's boots and think what's going to resonate with them. Now, of course, the target market isn't infants and toddlers. The target market is the mum or dad who's going to be buying the clothes for them. So sitting in their shoes, what conveys what it is that you do? And that's how we generated the company name for that. Similarly, with the longer term retailer, what's going to go above the door? Now, it happens quite a lot. I've been in business, in this business for 12 years now, and I've seen it all the time whereby people put their name in the business name. I did it when I launched my business in 2008. I call my business Rich Initiatives. A play on the word rich, of course, being my forename, and what we're looking to do is build profit, make people rich. So I thought it was quite clever, but really, who cares what the business owner's name is? Perhaps they do, perhaps their mum does. I think Brad refers to it in the Business Coach when he uses his semi-fictional story about one of his early clients and building the garage. It doesn't need the garage's owner's name above the door. It just needs to say what you do. Garage and MOTs, servicing, auto repairs. If you're a hairdresser, Harriet's Hairdressers. Just call it a hairdresser. Bob's Barbers doesn't really need Bob in it. I mean, it's catchy, but no one really cares. What they care about is what it does for them. And that's the starting point. So with the new business, it was about picking something that resonates with the target market, something that they instantly go, I know what you do and what it's going to do for me. As a quick aside, obviously, check that name is available at Company's House before, and check that the domain name is available before you register either one of them. Don't get caught with a business name that you can't get the domain name for, or vice versa. Also check if your route to market is via Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. Check that those names have not been taken already. Really check into those things. And a great tip from my client in South Africa, Tony, if you're going to approach someone to make an offer to buy a domain name off them, register all the other extensions around that first, because if you go to say, I'd like to buy rich.com, the owner of that is then going to go and go, okay, you're interested in rich.com. What I'm going to do is I'm going to register rich.co.uk, rich.ltd, rich.pro, rich.biz. I'm going to register all of them because you're going to end up coming back to me for them all and paying a pretty price for them. So make sure you register the other domains around before you go and make an offer to someone. And also be very careful, if you're going to do some market research around this name, go and register the domain names first, because some bright spark might get wind of it and just buy that domain and sit on it to charge you for it. So there's some people out there not quite as scrupulous as they could be. So moving on to the longer term retailer and the repaint of the shop, and the question is, what do we put above the door? And one of his teams mocked up some great ideas, but they all use the company name, and I'm not so sure that that is required. When we're looking at what it is, what the shop does, it needs to be seen from a distance, seen by passerbys, seen by someone who just flicks a glance, and because it's situated in the busiest tourist area of Cambridge on King's Parade, it needs to be easily translatable for people for whom English isn't their first language. So, shop. If it's a sports shop, sports clothes, sports shop. If it's a pharmacist. If it's a gallery. Just use the Ronseal approach for picking what you're going to put above there. And on this specific instance as well, the mock-ups were going through a variety of colours, and some looked fantastic, some didn't look so great. The owner was going, I like that colour, I don't like that colour. I said, well, how about just going outside the shop, go 50 yards away and take a look. What are some of the colours that are being used by people around you? Because if there's a lot of red out there, we don't want to use that lovely red colour. We might not like the yellow, but there might be nothing out there using yellow, so yellow will really stand out. Again, let's not think about this in terms of what we, the owners, like. Think about your target market and what appeals to them. So go outside, look for a colour that's not being used, that will stand out, that will catch someone's eyes, and use some very simple to the point wording that will grab their attention, because that's what we're after. We don't want to stroke egos here. We want to stroke your bank balance, quite frankly. So one more point that just popped into my head. When we're writing marketing, when we're putting together copy, when we're creating logos, when we're going to put something in front of a prospect, I always suggest to my clients that they make two assumptions. And this is going to sound a bit awful. The first one is, assume that the reader is stupid. I know it sounds awful, but if we write in the most simplistic terms, it's more likely to get through regardless of the intelligence level of the reader. But let's assume they're stupid, so we really go for them between the eyes on this. And the second point is, assume that they're doing something else while they're doing it. That they're picking up their phone, that they're watching TV, that someone's coming to the office and is talking to them. Come on, let's face it. When have you ever read something and just been 100% focused in on it and just shutting out all of the distractions? It's rare. And it's likely that any marketing you do will hit the desk of someone who's doing something else. Picking up my phone actually has just made me think about something else. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Receipt Bank. So it was an app on your phone. You just take a picture of your receipts, it then uploads it, some computer wizardry, then turns that receipt into a line item to import into your accounting software. I've been receiving some emails for the last few days from a company called Dext, D-E-X-T, and I was thinking, who the heck are these? It turns out Receipt Bank have been bought and rebranded as Dext. And I was scratching my head. I mean, it's the complete opposite of the Ronseal approach. Receipt Bank, it's a bank of your receipts. It does what it says on the mobile phone. It does what it says on the tin. Dext, I specifically went to find out what their thinking was around this, and it's clearly some marketing executive rubbish, in my opinion. It's so far removed from day-to-day business. It's something to do with the dexterity of thinking. Get out the boardroom, get out of your little glass tower and get back on the street and talk to your customers, talk to your prospects. Think from their point of view. Dext makes absolutely no sense to me. Receipt bank, loads. Yeah, crazy. So now as you're wandering around in business and in life, you're going to be seeing a few of these things. You're going to be chuckling at Clive's cushions, Mick's morgue. That just reminds me of a very old joke. You're also going to be looking and thinking at this company name, what does it do? Yeah, have a look at yours. It's not too late to change. It's not too late to update. Yeah, it's not too late. What's that old phrase? Don't compound a mistake by not changing it because it took you so long to make it in the first place. Yeah. So this one's been on profit. I'll be putting this up onto my website today, and I'll be putting a link to this out in my mailer. Profit is week 1, remember. Week 2 stuff is around time and freedom and helping business owners free themselves up from the business. Week 3 is around the value and the multiple of your business, and week 4 is around team. So I'm shooting this one a few weeks before I'll be really pushing it out there. I'm hopefully adding a few more things in as I go through the week. So hope you enjoyed it, and your comments, feedback, thoughts are always welcome, either directly by email or in the comments below, or reply to this email, however you receive this. And I look forward to catching up with you soon. Bye for now.